plane. Charlie ran as fast as he could. But oh my goodness, that aeroplane or whatever it was came down and tried to peck him up, left a huge hole beside him, like massive. Oh my goodness, Charlie. I wish I was home with Mother. But he had to keep on running and be brave. He ran and ran and ran, but that bird kept diving and diving and diving. All of a sudden, another great creature, a black creature with sharp claws and fur. It looked like a giant leopard, or not a leopard because leopards have spots, but a panther. My guess was it was probably a cat, and cat likes birds and birds like ants, but cat was fast and it grabbed the bird by the tail. The bird squeaked and squawked and pecked the cat right in the claw, and the bird got away. The cat almost squished Charlie as she walked by, but cats don't care for ants. So Charlie kept on walking. Well, then he came to another obstacle. Kind of a mountain, a big tall one. It was just a hill to you and me, but to that ant it was massive. And his legs were tired, and he'd eaten this rotten piece of wood, and he'd eaten a piece of soil. He barely had any food left, just crumbs. And he needed to get to the top of that mountain, because at the top of that mountain is where the rock was. And do you know what? Something very interesting happened. An animal with colours you wouldn't believe. And wings, it flew. Came down and sat beside me, and the voice of an angel came out of her mouth. Hello, dear.
It's a butterfly.
You're right. Do you need to go somewhere? You look so alone. What's your name? Charlie. Charlie, dear. I know your mother and father, and they're worried sick about you. Why are you so far from home? Well, Charlie said, I want to go see my aunt. Your aunt? But you are an aunt, dear. No, my aunt at the top of that hill. You have an aunt at the top of the hill? An aunt with an aunt? Okay. Would you like me to give you a ride? Please? Charlie got on the back of Madame Butterfly and she flew. Now, for an ant, that's a very big day to be on the back of a frog across a river and then on the back of a butterfly and fly up a hill. The butterfly flicked up and down with its wings and landed at the top of the hill in no time flat, lickety-split in fact. He walked up to the dark rock. Hello? He heard his voice echo. Hello? 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 Are you there? There? Ant! Ant! He went deeper into the dark hole under the rock. Do you think he should go in there?
No.
But he knew something was there. He went in. And, well, I don't know if you really know what one of these is. But something came out of that hole, out from behind a rock that he'd never seen before. And I don't know if anyone has seen. They're bright colors and almost the size of a matchstick head. Tiny. It's a funny noise they made as they came out from under the rock. Suddenly, whatever it was, those little bugs jumped on Charlie. And Charlie started to laugh, giggle, pee his pants laughing, rolling around on his back and thrashing like crazy, thinking that he was maybe not even going to breathe anymore from laughing so hard. He'd heard about these creatures. Someone had told him about these creatures when they tucked him into bed. His father told them about them. He remembered it.
Oh, shit. Dude, freak. You have to watch out for the dude freak.
And his mother would tell him,
Little freaks are scary creatures that will tickle you to death, dear. And the only way to stop them is to say the magic word, do-do-can-ring.
Suddenly those words rang so true in Charlie's ears that he said at the top of his lungs, "Do-do-can-frink, do-do-can-frink, do-do-can-frink." But they tickled him even harder. And then he realized he had it wrong. They were do-do-can-frinks, and the only word to stop them was what his dad said was lickety-split. Lickety-split, 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 said Charlie, because he was peeing his pants with laughter. And sure enough, those grapes are purple and wood is brown. Those do-do-can-frinks stopped tickling him and ran. I don't know if you've ever seen a do-do-can-frink, and I don't know if you've ever heard of one, but they are rare. And if you ever have do-do-can-frinks attack you, there is one magic word you should say, and what is it?
Lickety-split, lickety-split, lickety-split.
Wow, amazing. Well, it just so happened that deeper into the cave, he met his aunt.
I need that movie.
Deeper in the cave, past the do-do-can-frinks who had now disappeared and gone, was some old ants. They were grey-haired and old. "Is that you, Charlie?"
Yes, it's me, Charlie.
They ran. Well, they didn't run because they were using crutches and Zimmer frames and walkers, and they came up and gave him a big hug.
Grandma, Grandpa?
Yes, dear. They hugged and laughed and looked at pictures of old.
Why have you never come to visit us? They said. Daddy won't let me and Mummy won't let me.
Oh dear. They're probably cross at us for something we did when they were children. I don't know. They'll call. Please, everybody. Anyway, I think they had some family issues that they had to deal with, but now Charlie knew where they were living. I must go back before dark, as my parents are going to freak. So that's what they did. They came out, what was what he did? He came out to the cave and gave his aunt and uncle a big hug and jumped on the back of Madame Butterfly, who happened to be there. She goes, "Dear, I'm just flying as far as the pond, and then I'll have to drop you, you see." And Charlie jumped on the back of her and they flew so fast down the hill and around the corner past the mean bird. Finally got to the pond. And do you know who was sitting there?
The frog.
The frog.
Why, but, I see you. I take you across the river, no problem. Could I even figure out Chuzzle Bear's yet?
Well, he got to go for free again. My guess is if Charlie wanted to go back to visit his aunt, he's definitely going to have to pay, because that frog's going to have to figure out a children's fair. He gave him a swim across the river, and it wasn't so ripply this time, and made it back. When he came up the road towards his little place where ants live, his mum and dad were waiting there for him.
My dear, beside myself,
Said his mum.
It's not all I'm going to live there and bugger off our house.
Still, Charlie did not understand what his dad was talking about. funny being a little child and not really understanding what your dad's saying and having to nod and smile all the time. But anyway, things were fine when she got back home, and Charlie still had a picture of his aunt in his back pocket, and he kept it under his mattress. And I think that Charlie's probably going to go visit them again. But that's a story for another day.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Why not?
Because you don't want to listen to it one more, even one more.
You don't want to hear another story?
I do. I
Hmm.
do.